Shri Prakash Singh ji, Mr. Ramchandran, Dr. Ish Kumar, distinguished colleagues who are present here from the past, friends. We have gathered here today to celebrate the foundation day of the Indian Police Foundation, which was registered in 2014 but formally inaugurated in 2015 by the then Minister for Home Affairs, Shri Singh. In the beginning, it was a spade work done by Shri Ramchandran, which led to the registration of body. And in the beginning, there were not many takers for this idea, but the gentle and sustained persuasion of Shri Ramchandran led to the increase in membership gradually. Shri Prakash Singh ji became our first chairman, and I don't have to speak about his achievements and about his passion for reform in the police, which can be called only a passion because he has sustained it over a very long period of time, even after his, or rather more after his retirement. The foundation has grown slowly, and we have a total membership of about 200, with members drawn from the police and other professions. We can call it a growing institution in which we want to involve more representatives from the working police officers, journalists, jurists of eminence, and also from the corporate world. We would also like to have a greater response from university faculties and from the ladies. The safety and security of its citizens is the primary duty of the state, and it fulfills the duty through the criminal justice system, whose visible face is the police organization and its supportive services. The police is the public face of the government and is also the first point of interaction between the state and its citizens. As such, it is of vital importance that the first cutting-edge interaction should be friendly, professionally satisfying. I would like to draw your attention to one important aspect of maintenance of law and order, which the state police forces have dealt with admirably and which has not been fully appreciated by the press, the public, or by the government. This is the work done with regard to bandobast duties at major festivals and other occasions. The Kumbh Mela in Uttar Pradesh is a unique example of this and entails arrangements for millions of people spread across vast areas. Similarly, festivals in the south, not only festivals but the daily arrival of large numbers of devotees at many places. We have elections which entail massive arrangements for the peaceful conduct and also the security of these candidates. All these events pass off peacefully on a daily basis, and all due to excellent police work. Again, as has been mentioned earlier here, in insurgency and militancy situations, the police has played a very commendable role, be it in Punjab, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra, Chhattisgarh, etc. Other paramilitary forces have been involved in these operations, but the vital component, that is intelligence, has always come from the local police forces. They have also been actively involved in operations, and hundreds have attained martyrdom. I had to bring this to your notice so that we appreciate this very important work, which is largely done quietly. The problem area that we are speaking of today is the normal day-to-day working of the civil police, And of course, the word image is always there, that the police has to improve its image. The image will improve when we have professionally efficient, citizen-friendly police forces which enforce the rule of law as laid down by the Constitution and various other statutes. As long as other considerations prevail over the rule of law and order, we will not attain our objective. As far as the professional aspect is concerned, care has to be taken in the areas of recruitment, training, motivational aspects, about maintaining high standards of integrity. The higher police administration has to be selected with care in consonance with the various pronouncements of the courts, including the Supreme Court, and once appointed, they should be given a free hand in the internal administration of their department. All these aspects have to be taken care of, and high standards of integrity in recruitment and internal administration have to be maintained. The brunt of this burden falls on the state governments, as maintenance of law and order is a state subject. The highest levels of government in the states have to give up the temptation of interfering in the law, in the internal administration of the police and its day-to-day working. Most of us who have been through long years of service, and I'm sure those of you who are still in service, we all have always glibly talked of freedom and internal administration. What does that entail in practical terms? Practical terms, it means, as has been ordered by the Supreme Court in Shri Prakash Singh Ji's case, fixed tenures, say beginning with the Director General of Police, going down to the other things where there should be boards and other things, and various other reforms. I can tell you that in my own state, Punjab, in the last 6 months there have been 3 Directors General of Police. What internal administration are we talking of? This is the case not only with Punjab. I happen to stay there and I know about it. I know things are not very rosy in other states also. We have a long way to go in the direction of the higher levels of the police department, and we have to set an example in this regard. The police stations have to put their nose to the grindstone and take up the work as per the rules. Registration and investigation of crime should get a primary focus. Great advances have been made in IT and forensic sciences, and they are available today across the country. But the old practices of inspections, village touring, maintenance of meticulous records, that has gone down. It should have be much better today with all the computerization available. But if you go and examine police records now and see the maintenance of the police station registers regarding crime, or the village rosters, or the activities of criminals in the area, you'll find and the transfer notes that used to be written by SHOs, the transfer notes that used to be written by district superintendents of police. I was in a meeting in Punjab during the militancy where one of the SPs, while talking of things he had done in his district, said that he was maintaining a register of his own regarding important crimes in his district. After the meeting, I quietly pointed out to him that he is supposed to maintain a register in which he has to enter all the case diaries in his own hand under 302, 304, 364, etc. All these things have gradually died away new systems have not come up in their place. And police working depends a lot on the kind of records that are present, the data that is available. We have always talked about reforms. We have set up commissions to go into the matter, right from the Dharamveera Commission when we were still probationers, the Vora report, and then Shri Prakash Singh's Herculean efforts, which finally went up to the Supreme Court. We do not know much about the earlier reports. But the Supreme Court did pass detailed orders on Mr. Prakash Singh's petitions. What more can he do or you and I can do? The problem is the implementation. The Supreme Court also, unfortunately, does not have a machinery to get its orders implemented. It has to go through the government. And the governments pay lip service to these reforms or to these orders, but in practice, they are more evaded than effected. The vision that we are talking about, the vision is ultimately about reforms and changes. We set targets for them, and we say this is the kind of police force we want. These are the internal reforms or internal administration we want. This is the way we want the police to behave with the public. This is the way we want the police to implement the rule of law and not the rule of the political party in power at that particular stage of time. That is unfortunately what is happening. That is why the common man is suffering. It is not the constitution, it is not the statute which is enforced every day by us. We work, most of us, according to the whims of the rulers who happen to be there. The other thing I want to say about the vision is that when we talk of reforms, why should we talk about police reforms only? Police is but one component of the criminal justice system. The other two very important components are the judiciary and the executive. And at the cutting edge level, they also suffer from the same malpractices that we in the police suffer. The criminal justice system has to work together. And if we are going to evolve a system, a vision, then we must take these two very important wings along with us. And of course, the most important thing, the necessity for the vision, the necessity for the rule of law, the necessity for implementing constitutional values, we have to bring on board the political parties. There is no getting away from that. And in fact, Mr. Ramchandran and I were discussing only the other day. The idea was given by a younger officer that why should some of us, maybe working officers, serving officers or members of this foundation, why shouldn't few of them go and meet a couple of chief ministers in the northeast and in the south, in the north and central India, and talk to them frankly about these problems. If law and order is well maintained in an impartial and unbiased manner, if the rule of law is implemented, who's going to get the credit for it? Not you and me. Credit will go to the government in power. And that should be our effort to bring them on board. To sum up, commissions and courts recommend and order reforms, the state governments have to implement them. We will succeed only if we have the state governments on board by interacting with chief ministers of the states and also by involving eminent persons from the political field in our deliberations. Thank you.